It was very emotional and very important topic, really, for Prince Harry. He served in Afghanistan 2 years ago, although he was ordered to return to England early because an Australian magazine reported about his position, which his commander believed made it too dangerous for his entire unit. He really wants to return and do everything he can for the injured, not only the Brits, but also all the Americans. You know, so many of those that are injured. I mean, this is really, for you and I, is right in our hearts about those. Do you think, with all those that have been injured, do you think we're doing enough to help them?
I don't think there's ever going to be enough done. I mean, we're always going to learn from our mistakes, I think. But the most important thing for me to be here is to try and sort of cement that bond between your side and our side, and so that we can essentially learn from each other. And obviously, when we sort of fight together and get wounded together, after that it's very much split two separate ways. And I'd love to see, and I'm sure you and everybody else would love to see, both sides of the Atlantic learning from each other and working together.
You know, it is so important that someone like you actually helps them out as much as you can, given the fact, especially that you've been to the front line, and to them, you're like their brother.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not as much of a brother as you. I managed to escape injury, but you know, it's a small price to pay. I mean, I've been there, I've been with them, so I know how they feel. I suppose I'll never know how they feel, but it's a small price to pay for the position that I'm in, to try and bring attention to these guys.
Do you want to go back to Afghanistan?
I would love to go back. I really would, and as long as my military career allows it, and politically it's allowed, then I will serve my country as any other soldier.
You know, it's hard for me to get my wife to say okay for me to go back over there, but for you,
I'm not surprised after what happened to you.
I just can't imagine. Is it hard for you to not go back?
No, it is hard. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you train for war. It's as simple as that. And you know, if we could be at peace, then fantastic. But if we're at war, then you want to be with your brothers in arms, whether it's your own sort of guys from your own country or America or any other forces that are out there helping as well. You train for a reason, and you want to be there, and you want to help your buddies left and right of you.
Your work in Africa. Africa is such an important continent for you. Why is that?
Africa, as I've been asked numerous times, I mean, Africa is very close to my heart. It always has been. I love the people. I love everything about it. Obviously, my mother had a soft spot for Africa as well. And both me and William adore being there. We have a chance of a bit of freedom and a chance just to sort of be at one with nature. So no, it's a very special place.
Earlier this week, Prince Harry made a very personal and private trip to Mozambique to view his mother's minesweeping charity firsthand. You know, your mother really, changed things for so many people in terms of their view of HIV. People were afraid of holding a child, and there's your mother holding a baby like that, which really woke people up.
No, well, and good on her, and that's something that William and I hope to sort of carry on in her name, or as much as we can anyway. But sometimes it takes something like that to really bring it home to people about what's going on out there.
You know, you with these little children that are suffering from HIV, you're so comfortable with them. To watch you on the ground, tracing your body right there with a magic marker. Telling what's the dream in your mind. You said you wanted to be a surfer, a wildlife photographer.
No, some of those are true. Some of them also weren't true because of the amount of cameras that was in my face at the time, so I didn't want them to know.
There is very little the paparazzi allow Prince Harry to keep for himself, but he remains focused on those who are in need.
As long as I've got the time, and as long as I have an effect, I will always try and continue my work in Africa, through Sentebale, especially within Lesotho. That's for me. It's a country small enough to be able to see change.
This will be your mission for the rest of your life?
I think, yeah. Well, Sentebale is going to be around for the rest of my life, unless something drastic happens to me. But my mission is to continue that for as long as I can for the children of Lesotho.
You know, Africa is clearly so very important to him and his brother, Prince William. Not only are they committed to helping children with HIV and endangered species, they also love Africa, as you heard, because it gives them this chance to get away from the paparazzi for what they call anonymity, which they love.
Even though they're being photographed extensively while there. But I have to tell you, you spent a lot of time with the prince, both in Africa and here in New York. He seems like an extraordinary young man.
He is. You know, I think he's definitely maturing. He gets older all the time. He's so completely committed to this. And yes, it's true that the photographers were there at this time, but they go to Africa a lot alone without any media with them.
And really channeling their mother and her very important and groundbreaking work there
Clearly
as well.
that set them up to do this. This is why they're committed.
Great work. Thanks so much for being here with this story.